See this beautiful graph. That is how we are progressing in getting women educated. In India, 89% women are completing secondary education compared to 75% in the world. That must mean women employment rate is also increasing, right? But that's not true. Women employment rate is only 32%. But why aren't Indian women working? What's stopping millions of educated, hardworking, and talented women from participating in the labor force? Here are the 5 major reasons for this. Firstly, India's economy is increasing year on year. The per capita income of India has increased by 55% in the last 10 years. On the surface, this might seem like a positive trend. Families can now sustain themselves on a single income, but this reduces women's job opportunities. See the women participation in workforce on the basis of education level. See this U-shaped curve? A less educated woman works out of necessity, but a more educated woman work out of choice. As household wealth increases, families prioritize women staying at home to take care of family, childcare, and elderly. Culturally, we have seen our moms, nannies, and dadis do the same. This phenomenon is observed globally, but in India, this is amplified because of societal pressure. Access to safe and reliable transportation is crucial for employment. It determines whether someone can look for jobs beyond their immediate neighborhood. But here's the reality for women in India. 45% of women walk to work compared to 27% of men. Women rely heavily on public transport, with 84% of their trips estimated to be by buses or trains. This severely limits their work opportunity and future life choices. Not only this, if you take into consideration safety concerns and harassments, commuting feels unsafe to women. India ranks 128 out of 177 countries in terms of women's inclusion, justice and security.
एक बुजुर्ग महिला को जगह देने के लिए मैं खड़ी हो गई, मैंने उनको बैठा दिया। शायद वहाँ खड़े हो जाना, ये करीब आप ये मानिए शायद महानगर से आगे हम लोग निकले थे, जो कि आधा ही सफर था मेरा। वहाँ खड़े हो जाना मेरे लिए सबसे गलत चीज़ साबित हुई, क्योंकि उसके बाद शायद ही उस बस में से कोई आदमी ऐसा होगा जो छुए बिना निकला हो।
This creates a cycle in which women are reluctant to go out. And in the case they have to, they are severely limited by the distance they can travel. Even if women manage to commute, the next hurdle is managing time. In India, women are expected to do most of the household work. Women do 9 times more unpaid work than men. Think about it. They spend 270 minutes of unpaid job per day, which is almost 5 hours. And what does that lead to? Far less time for women to work and almost no time for full-time work. This creates a vicious cycle. Educated women drop out of the workforce, fewer women leaders emerge to inspire and mentor future generations. This results in lower wages and participation rates for women overall. This isn't just about gender equality, it's about societal progress. If half of the population is sidelined, the whole country suffers. India as a society is still very male dominant, in which marriage plays a crucial part. According to some data, a staggering 83% of women reported needing permission from their partner to leave home. In India, a woman spending time outside home can lead to acquisition of promiscuity, tarnishing her family's honor. Families often ask, is the extra income worth the risk to their reputation and marriage prospects? For many, the answer is no. And so daughters and wives are pressured to stay home. Even highly educated women aren't exempt from this burden. Here's where India's economic strategy come into picture. Most developing countries follow a very predictable route, from agriculture to manufacturing to tertiary. But India skipped the manufacturing step. We moved directly from primary to service industry, leaving a gaping hole in the job market. China has 26% GDP coming from manufacturing. For India, that is only 17%. But this seems like a good shortcut. Why does this matter? Manufacturing jobs, which are often more accessible to women, especially in tier 2, tier 3 cities, are limited. Most service jobs are concentrated in urban areas, leaving 70% of rural women behind. Without formal job opportunities, women are pushed into physically taxing, insecure roles in the informal sector. Only 5% of women work in jobs with basic security. For a country with India's ambition, this is a massive missed opportunity. I understand this is a very heavy data driven video, so I will summarize all those 5 points in 2 lines. Indian women spend more time on unpaid household work, leaving little to no time for full time jobs. Add to this the unsafe transport condition and lack of formal jobs, and suddenly the low participation in workforce makes sense. Why does it matter though? Now here's the big picture. If India increases women's workforce participation, GDP would rise by 30%. That is more than $1 trillion. That's not just a statistic, that's a game changer. And how it can be done? We have to think upstream. Quick fixes are not going to solve anything. We need to do some big changes and some societal changes to make it happen. Promoting shared responsibility at home will be a good starting place. This will give women enough time to participate in full-time jobs. Creating jobs that are accessible to women across rural and urban areas, especially in manufacturing. Again, improvement in service jobs will help, but we should think about women in Tier 2 and Tier 3. Expand schemes like Nari Shakti and women-led startup. This yields more women in position of power and can empower other women. Investing in safer, more reliable public transportation system is a must-have. India dreams to become a global superpower. And for that dream to come true, its superwoman needs to step up and be supported.